Hey everybody, today I'm going to tell you about Disney World and some of the little known facts associated with Disney World. We're going to talk about Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot that make up Disney World as a whole. I personally have been to Disney World 4 times with my family, and some of these facts I wish I had known upon going to the park to begin with, but it's still kind of cool to know them after the fact, thinking back to the times that I spent there. Our first stop on the tour is going to be Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom, when you think about it, you think of this huge castle. Cinderella's castle sits at the center of Magic Kingdom Park. Magic Kingdom opened in 1971. On the day of opening, the cost of admission was $3.50. That $3.50 today would buy you the equivalent of a bottle of water at the parks. So if that tells you anything about the cost of going to Disney World, plan accordingly. When you think about Magic Kingdom, you think about Cinderella's castle and this huge, larger-than-life structure that sits at the very center of the park. This is actually nothing more than a shell. It houses 3 things inside of it. There's a restaurant called Cinderella's Round Table. There is a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which is a salon for young girls to go dress up like princesses. And there's actually a hotel room inside of the castle that was originally designed as an apartment for Walt Disney himself. This hotel room is nearly impossible to stay at. It's reserved for the megastars of the world, and very few people have ever seen the inside of this hotel room. It was actually raffled off as a silent auction giveaway as a park package, if you will. And upon breaking down that package, the average cost per night to stay in the room wound up being about $10,000 per night. So, good luck with that. Magic Kingdom is built above sea level, whereas Orlando, Florida is built at sea level. So you might ask, why is the park built above sea level? What's below it? What's below the park would actually be hidden tunnels. These hidden tunnels are color-coded, and they're used by cast members or people that work at Disney to navigate the park without having to go through crowds of people and do so unseen. So that's an interesting tidbit about Magic Kingdom, the tunnels beneath it. If you're interested in seeing these tunnels, there's actually a tour called Keys to the Kingdom, which they offer at Magic Kingdom, which will allow you to see them. Magic Kingdom is the most popular park. Disney World has about 58 million visitors annually every year that visit the parks in Orlando, Florida, and many of them spend the majority of their time at Magic Kingdom. You'll see a lot of flags, United States flags at Magic Kingdom. They're not actually real flags though. They're missing either a star or a stripe so that they don't have to follow national flag code and fly at half mast for any reason. They're always flown at full mast at Disney properties. That's another interesting fact there. We're going to talk about Epcot. We touched briefly on Disney World being located within its own self-governing cities, and the reason behind this is actually Epcot. Epcot, when you think of it, you think of this huge sphere that sits in the middle of the park, and it's the monument, if you will, associated with Epcot. Epcot is in fact an acronym. It stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. And the original idea behind Epcot was for it to be a living, working community of about 20,000 people to experiment with the idea of cutting down on emissions and things of that nature by using the monorail to commute. Also, what they call people movers and it's actually a ride now at Magic Kingdom where you can get the idea behind what the people movers were meant to do, basically. Epcot, the sphere itself, is actually has a rain irrigation system installed within it. You will not find water falling off of the sphere if it rains. It's actually funneled into the park, in the center of the park, in what's called the World Showcase Lagoon, which actually houses the largest or the most powerful fountain one of the most powerful fountains in the world. It shoots about 150 feet in the air. Only second to a fountain in South Korea that shoots a mere 30 feet higher than that. So Epcot is the reason that Disney's located within its own self-governing cities of Bay Lake and Lake Buena Vista. They have their own. They have their own power plant. They have their own water treatment facilities. Everything that was needed to be a fully operational, live-in community is there because of the original idea for Epcot, which was scrapped upon the death of Walt Disney in 1966. We're going to move on now to Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios, before it became what it is today, was actually nothing more than a film studio. The show Mickey Mouse Club was actually filmed at Hollywood Studios before it became the theme park that it is today. Many of you think of Hollywood Studios and they think of Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster. If you can imagine going to the park now and it actually being a ride that was for U2. The band U2 was originally proposed with the idea of this ride, which they declined, and the rest is history. It's now Aerosmith's ride and will forever be Aerosmith's ride. Hollywood Studios is actually the world's largest hidden Mickey, if you will. These hidden Mickeys are throughout all the parks, but an aerial photograph of Hollywood Studios and the layout of the park actually depicts Mickey Mouse silhouette of him. But if you go to the parks, you'll find these hidden Mickeys everywhere because Disney's all about the experience. They immerse you in everything Mickey Mouse, everything Disney. So, I mean, if you're in a line at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, there's gems that are shaped like Mickey Mouse. There are place settings at restaurants that are in the shape of Mickey Mouse. Queues in the test track waiting line, there's hidden Mickeys everywhere. So your family could actually make a scavenger hunt, if you will, about all the hidden Mickeys that you could possibly find while you attend the parks. It just kind of adds to the excitement of it all. Lastly, on our stop, we're going to talk about Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom, when you think of it, you think of the Tree of Life, this huge tree that sits in the very center of the park. That tree is actually retrofitted over a 14-story oil rig, and the base of the tree is concrete. It's actually not wood at all. It's a concrete tree. Obviously, it looks like a tree, but it's in fact not. At Animal Kingdom, obviously there's animals there, wildlife. You will not find a lid or a straw, anything plastic at the parks as a safety precaution for the animals. So that's interesting as well to that park. Some other just little known facts about Disney World properties in general. You're never more than 30 steps from a trash can. It is actually the cleanest theme park in the entire world. If you like to chew gum, you must bring your own gum. You will not find gum for sale on any Disney property whatsoever. So, you like to chew gum, bring your own. However, if you wear sunglasses, do not bring your favorite pair of sunglasses to Disney World with you because an average of 200 pairs daily are turned into lost and found. So, favorite pair of sunglasses, stay at home because chances are you're going to lose them. And the last interesting fact about the Disney World properties as a whole is that there's no structure at any Disney property in Orlando, Florida, that is higher than 199 feet. The reason behind this is because at 200 feet, they would require red flashing aviation lights on the top of the structure, and it took away from the overall experience that immersed you in going to these parks. So no structure at Disney World is higher than 199 feet. Expedition Everest and Tower of Terror both are exactly 199 feet tall. So that's another interesting fact. If you decide to plan a trip to Disney or you've been to Disney, I'm sure you've seen a lot of these things. But if you decide to go, some of these facts may make your trip more enjoyable. It is it's a vacation like no other, but it also requires a lot of planning. And this is just one more thing that you can just kind of squeeze into your planning to make it a more magical experience for your family. So, little known facts about Disney World. I hope you learned something new and exciting today that you maybe didn't know before. And there are many more resources available about little known things or all things Disney, such as how long it would take you to stay in all the hotels are all the hotel rooms on Disney properties. I think it said something to the effect of 64 decades to stay in each individual room at Disney World if you did so one night after another. So I hope you enjoyed this informative speech as much as I enjoyed giving it, as I enjoyed Disney World properties. And should you choose to go, hopefully you will apply some of what you learned today. Thank you.